Right then, El Clasico this Saturday, the first of the season, Real Madrid taking on Barcelona. It's incredible considering how many times these teams have met, how close it is with regards to who's got the bragging rights. But it's Real Madrid going into this tie. Of the 257 meetings, Real Madrid have won on 105 occasions. Barcelona just 5 behind with 100. And of course, contributing a lot to that 100 was Iniesta. Here's what he had to say.
¿Qué has visto de Lamine Yamal que lo hace tan especial y por lo que los técnicos con él no tienen que tener calma, sino que el tipo juega y no nada más juega, sino que entrega resultados?
Sí, bueno, yo creo que poco puedo añadir a lo que habéis visto todos, ¿no? Es un jugador diferencial, es un jugador especial, es un jugador que marca diferencias, asistiendo, haciendo goles, teniendo la atención del rival. Es decir, es un jugador único y especial por la edad que tiene y lo que ya ha mostrado, ¿no? Entonces, pues bueno, es normal que un jugador cuando es así tan joven pues tenga la capacidad de jugar prácticamente todos los partidos. Ahora pues hay muchísimos partidos, tanto en el club como en la selección, pero sí que es cierto que bueno, yo creo que en la medida de lo posible pues hay que acompañarle en ese crecimiento, ¿no? Porque no hay que olvidar que tiene 17 años y bueno, que año tras año hay que acompañarle para que ese nivel altísimo que ha mostrado con 17 años, pues lo tiene que seguir incrementando, ¿no? Porque es la exigencia de la élite, es la exigencia de estar en el Barça y en la selección.
¿Cómo te imaginas el partido de este fin de semana con dos equipos que llegan en la parte alta de la tabla?
Pues sabemos que los clásicos son partidos diferentes, son partidos únicos. Muchas veces da igual un poco la sensación con la que llega un equipo, la sensación con la que llega otro. Pero si analizamos, o por ejemplo, lo que estamos viendo ahora en este caso, o mi caso, que ves más el Barça y las sensaciones que tienes con el equipo, pues son muy buenas, ¿no? Al final, el reto que tienen estos equipos tan grandes es cada día demostrarlo. Entonces, pues bueno, el Barça vuelve a tener un gran escenario para poder afianzar esas sensaciones y esa línea que está teniendo de juego, de resultados y ojalá y tenga un buen partido y pueda llevarse los puntos.
Andres Iniesta then on ESPN Deportes' show on Nunca, speaking to Maurizio. What's interesting, Kieran, is as an outsider looking in, you hear all the talk about derbies, yeah? The form book goes out the window. You, of course, took part in the North London derby, one of the biggest in the Premier League, Arsenal against Spurs. Just take us through a little bit as to why it is so different. Why is there different taste in the air building up to it and during it?
I mean, it's purely because of what it means to the fans, to be honest. I think you just get a feel for that ever since you're a kid. If you're a fan of the club, you know straight away that who your rivals are. I think Stevie will say the same with Liverpool, Everton, and Mario the same as well. But it's just there is something unique about it. It has the ability to change the course of a season depending on that result. Sometimes, it can either teams that are in form. If we were in form and we had a difficult results against Spurs, that could really rock us, and the same the other way around. If we weren't doing so well, and then we end up putting in a performance against Spurs and winning, it can really lift the whole club. To be honest, the whole club, the owners, the fans, the staff. So it is very special in that regard. I think. Was lucky enough to play in a few of them, and yeah, there's no better feeling than winning a derby.
Do you ever get to the point, Kieran, where you enjoy the moment, where the experience is something you can actually take in, or is it all about 90 minutes? I don't want to be the reason we lose this, and I don't want to be the reason that I can't go out for the next few days.
Yeah, the derby one that does have that added pressure. that the other games don't, that you don't really feel in the other games. But you know, I think for me, it taught me a lot about the team that I was in at the time. And I think we had, you know, we were a young team coming through and playing against Spurs, even in like the Carling Cup days. You know, it really, I got that experience early on from 18, 19 years old. So I think that helped me deal with that later on. As the games, you know, as the seasons go on, you realise just how important it is for the fans. But yeah, I mean, listen, no one wants to be on the wrong end of a derby loss, and especially it is a lot of pressure. It's a stressful day.
Mario, what about for you? The biggest derby you would take playing?
I mean, like the same what Kieran said. You know, in London is the biggest one. I also have, you know, Ajax Feyenoord in Holland is the biggest one. But then I think, and it's not even, derbies are normally in one city, but they call that one of them while they're two big cities in Holland. So yeah, what you just highlighted, it's a different type of pressure. It's a different kind of motivation. People talk to you. They ask you, you know, certain things like, you know, like if you lose, you know that week on the street is terrible. You don't want to be on the street because your fans are going to come to you and ask you, like, Mario, what happened? Come on, tell us now. Be honest. Hey, don't you think this? Don't you think that? Hey, every fan you meet before that week, when you're going to play that game, he's the best coach in the world. And the week after, he's the best coach. So I'm going to tell you right now, you know, you better win that game. Because if you don't win that game, that fan will substitute you the way he can. Like, he will tell you, like, hey, when I see you next week, I'm not talking to you. They will really get to you. And your friends from Arsenal, like Kieran said, if you have friends from Arsenal, and we had Spurs as well as our derby, they will have a go at you then. You don't want to pick up your phone. Let's say it like that. You better win.
Yeah, simple as that, Shaq, yeah?
Absolutely. I think
what was the biggest one like you played? Like Newcastle, Sunderland?
And just to put things in perspective, when I was at Newcastle, at the point we played Sunderland, we probably sat on top of the table. They did a poll of the Newcastle fans, said, would you accept losing 5-0 to Sunderland if it meant Newcastle going on to win the title? A majority said, nah. We prefer to beat Sunderland and not win the title.
Well, there we go.
That's to the point that everybody's making. This one game.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 38-game season, but this one game or two in the reverse fixture just seems to mean more to the fans than the other 36 combined.
It always lifts the underdog.
Right, okay.
It's basically a cup final, particularly for the underdog.
Right.
Because regardless of what's happened previous weeks, you don't even think about it. It's not even in your mind.
Who is the underdog for this game, by the way? Yeah,
it's got to be Barcelona.
It's difficult. It's difficult to kind of say, considering how well Barcelona brilliant again yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. Barcelona.
Right.
Got to be Barcelona.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't back against Barcelona.
But for Real Madrid, obviously, they haven't clicked at all this season. But you're saying you're not even thinking about that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the atmosphere of the occasion gets everything going.
Right.
You know, you feel as though you can run faster, jump higher, you're bigger, you're stronger. It just, the atmosphere does something to you, something to your body and your brain. Just makes you feel you're indestructible.
And you love it?
Oh. See when that final whistle goes and you've won?
Yeah.
Don't get any better.
To that point, I think all top professionals live for these kinds of days. They really do. And then when they don't have those, you play in a you know, in the Carabao Cup or with a small crowd or something, so it just doesn't feel right. It just is not what you're used to. But just talking about this game and kind of discussing who's the underdog and who's under more pressure. Real Madrid at home, trailing Barcelona. They've had their issues, as you say, things just haven't clicked. I just wonder for the first time in 2 or 3 years, Real are coming into this with all kinds of pressure that we probably didn't expect to be discussing.
It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be exclusive on ESPN Plus. You can catch us on Saturday. Our hour-long preview starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. Real Madrid against Barcelona. Now, you can watch that game, or you can watch the game with us if you like, as we'll have a special watch-along alternative cast. Me, Craig, and Ali in the studio with special guests throughout the couple of hours. If you fancy joining us, then please do so. That starts at kickoff on ESPN Plus.